Hey everybody, welcome. Say hello if you're jumping on. Type hashtag replay if you're catching this on the replay. Welcome to Akashic Readings and Healings. I am very happy to be doing this on the full moon in Taurus and lunar eclipse. And I would love to know how you're feeling because this eclipse season has been a doozy. It has. And it's been quite the roller coaster, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything because there's just been some really deep patterns and massive transformation coming up to be shifted. So hello, everybody. Thank you for saying hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Mazzotta. I've been a holistic therapist for 20 years and I'm an Akashic Records Channel. And there's nothing I love more than coming on here and doing readings and healings with you guys. I love it. It energizes me. I always learn something. It heals me to my core. And connecting in community is so beautiful because I love to witness. It's been harsh. Harsh is a good word because it's funny. I was talking to my friend about it and I was just like, man, this has been a hell of an eclipse season, but it's funny because I don't want to be negative about it because it's honestly all so amazing. It's all so beautiful. I love it so much. And so I'm here for it. I mean, it has been harsh. It has been harsh, but I'm here for it. So anyway, dudes, I have been sick for a couple days. So FYI, I am going to be here for as long as my bandwidth allows. We're going to see how this goes. It's probably going to be even better because my ego is even less involved because I'm like, whatever, but doing these healings always helps me. It always energizes me, like I said, and just makes me feel so centered. And being able to see your reflections here to me, to each other, to source. I love you guys so much. And thank you so much. Is always just such medicine. It's such medicine being in spiritual community in whatever form, whether we're in person, whether we're on Instagram Live, whether on YouTube. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody here that has not asked questions in the Akashic Records before, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. It's best if you don't ask questions that are yes or no in nature. You can, it's not like you're not going to get an answer, but they may take you on a completely different angle, which is fine. I mean, you're going to have something that comes forward that's deeply going to serve you and be ready to be integrated right now. Thank you so much, my friends. Oh, it's been kind to this Gemini. Yay. See, I would argue that it's being kind to all of us. It just doesn't feel that way to our human a lot of the time. Which is why I'm hosting a full moon ceremony tomorrow on Zoom. So if any of you guys want to join, you can jump into it through the link in my bio. It's $22. And those are so intimate. And we get to just kind of go a little deeper together, where we kind of chat about what's coming up for you in this energy. And we get to just exchange a little bit more intimately. So if you want to do that, go ahead. But yeah, so you can ask yes or no questions, but you're not going to get as specific answers. So I encourage you to ask more open-ended questions and try not to ask questions that just satisfy the ego. Am I going to get the job that I really want to get? Because the purpose of spirituality is not just to satisfy the ego, right? The purpose of spirituality is to deepen our trust and connection and surrender with the divine. So I really encourage you to orient your questions from a place of service if you can. How am I, for instance, if I'm in relationship with my son and I desire some feedback about that, instead of what am I supposed to do with my son? It's how am I meant to best show up to serve his journey or to support his journey, So really being humble in your questions. All of that being said, those are just tips and you can ask whatever the hell you want. I'll make it work. Don't worry. I always make it work. So let's go, dudes. Drop your questions and I'm going to tune in and offer you Akashic guidance. And One of the things that makes me crazy about the Instagram lives versus my YouTube lives is it is a lot more scrolling for me to go back to look for questions. So I really encourage you, if you've dropped a question, but I've gotten too far and I'm not going to spend all my time scrolling back because it's just going to waste your time. I encourage you to just drop it again. Okay. So just kind of cut and paste it if you don't want to have to remember what you typed, and you can just save it somewhere. All right. So Giana, welcome. How can I best serve as a spiritual being having a human experience based on where I am in life at this moment? Beautiful. So the first thing that comes forward immediately when you ask that question, and then I'll tune in a little deeper to see if there's anything else, but the first thing that comes up immediately is to be in the present moment, right? Like to be grateful for the present moment, to immerse in what gifts are available to you right now in this moment and amplify it. So it's like, how are you already serving, being a spiritual being, having a human experience based on where you are in life at this moment in time? What does that taste like for you? What does that feel like for you right now? Because typically what we're being invited to is an amplification of the same. You know, our entire personalities aren't going to change. Absolutely everything in our life is not necessarily going to change, right? And so it's about deeply understanding what allows you to access your essence at like a level of palpability, like you can taste it, you can feel it, that just makes your entire life, human experience go numb, right? Take that and deepen it. Because what we're usually looking for is like, well, should I try another modality? Or, you know, what do I need to do to kind of add to the gifts that I have? And it's like nothing. You're meant to take the gifts that you have in this present moment and deepen your immersion into them, swim in them, allow yourself to bathe in them. Because when you do that, your natural gifts will be amplified. Outside of like, well, I'm searching for, how do I do this service? You already know, like deep inside, you already know. So it's just accessing the depth of that knowing. So where are you already being activated? Where are you already being immersed? And let me just tune into this a little deeper. Like I said I would, I just wanted to bring forward what was coming up right away. And you can let me know how that feels too. I'm feeling this real mix of like gentle, heart-centered play. That's what I'm feeling vibrationally from your field. You can let me know how that feels, but it's kind of like being able to tap into that really loving, heart-centered, gentle energy that's very naturally coming from your field, but bringing it forward in a playful way. The first thing that came forward when I tuned in more deeply was like, don't take this path and this service too seriously. And don't, one of the things they said was like, most of us on the spiritual path take it very seriously. Like, it's just like this very serious, like pious, intense experience. And I love intense. It's my middle name, right? Like I freaking love it. But they really want you to bring this like light, playful air to the healing process from a very gentle, heart-spaced place. So let me know how that feels and if that resonates at all. And I'm happy to follow up on that for you. Okay. So DuPont Nikki, what am I meant to see that I'm not seeing right now? I'm just going to send you some Reiki. So just receive this. Close your eyes and receive. There's some darkness in your subconscious. I'm just removing some of that right now. Okay, so what they're bringing forward is your light. And they're also telling me that you, they keep showing me this. And I kind of dismissed it when they first showed it the second I tuned in, but they keep bringing it forward as this unique connection that you have with animals. And I'm not sure if you felt that, but they're saying that like your light is amplified when you are in connection and communication with animals. And they want you to feel this light. This thing that you're not seeing right now is how bright your light is. And they want you to be able to see that. And they're saying that one of the tangible ways for you to do that is to connect with the animal world. So that could be pets that you have. It could be animals that you intentionally offer healing to, right? But you don't have to. They're saying that being with animals really brings out this like relaxed light for you that doesn't take much effort, which is really interesting. So I don't know if you're in regular connection with animals, but that's what they're bringing forward. So you can let me know how that feels. And if you have any follow-up questions, and I'm happy to support. Hi, Sherry. How are you, honey bunches? How can I gain more intimacy with my business? All right, I'm just going to channel out loud here for you. They're like, who says you're not already at the deepest level of intimacy with your business, right? Like, how much do you sit down and have a conversation with your business? How much do you chat with it? How much do you separate yourself from your business and not think about the business at all and simply deepen your intimacy with yourself, which is the backbone of your business? Where are you avoiding deeper immersion into yourself? Because this has nothing to do with your business. Your business is this like 3D energetic structure that exists here on this planet. But it was activated into being through you as a vessel. So it's really not about intimacy with your business as much as it's intimacy in yourself. Really about surrendering more of your business to source. Stop making it about you. Like it's not your business. It's source's business. It's the universe's business. So how can you channel more of that into not necessarily your business, but just into your day-to-day life? How does that feel, Sherry? Let me know how that feels. Okay. Smiling Nino, you are next. I've been getting recurring pain in my neck and shoulders to my shoulder blades. Sometimes it feels like extreme pressing and stuck tension. What am I being led to learn from this? Okay, so the first thing they're saying is they don't want you to like consciously focus on what you're meant to learn as much as you bring softness and compassion and gentleness and love to that area of your body. Because we often get so caught up in like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Instead of just deeply loving on our body, like just love the hell out of yourself, right? When we're talking about neck and shoulder pain, we're talking about, the burdens that we carry. We're talking about not being able to see alternative perspectives on things. And so setting the intention to increase your flexibility and being really, really conscious about literally not carrying anything that is not yours. Erring on the side of saying no to more things right now, because it's almost like, I feel like you're almost being stretched upward right now in this ascension process. Like you're being stretched upward in your consciousness. And so it feels like this strain for you on the physical body, because the physical body takes a lot more time to catch up to energetic shifts than our energetic body, because when the energy changes, it's like immediate, but we don't necessarily see the outcome of that right away because it takes time to come into fruition. So it's being patient, but they're saying that the entities that are kind of pulling you upward into higher levels of consciousness are soul family for you. They're like astral family. And they're kind of calling you back to them in a way that's like asking you to stand taller to be able to share the messages from your soul origin point so that you can really expand the consciousness of the planet. And so there's some resistance in your human form to doing that, and it feels uncomfortable because it's not natural for you. Like it's not something that you're used to doing all the time, at least at this level. And it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. So I want you to allow them to pull you, but also be in communication with them around, I need a little break. You know, I need a little break because I want to integrate this a little bit more, and then I'll connect again. So grounding can be helpful, and grounding can be outside in Mother Earth. For me, I ground in the Akash because that's like this, I'm of soul origin, aren't we all? But like, I feel so much more grounded when I anchor in the Akash rather than when I anchor on Mother Earth. And so you may find that anchoring in the Akashic Records is something that is more effective for you than anchoring on Mother Earth when you're looking at grounding techniques, but you can play with that. And let me just send you a little Reiki to that area too. Yeah, see, some of this tension is really like old ancestral stories and patterns and limiting beliefs that honestly don't even belong to you. Like, just decide I'm washing myself clean. Like, I do not need to hold these stories anymore. They have nothing to do with me. I'm in a completely different path than my ancestral line, and I'm going to create a new one. You know, that's really expansive for everyone coming forward. I'm surprised about the animals. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what's so interesting, because I got that sense when the animal first came forward, Nikki, was like, was that you didn't have a pet. And that's why I initially dismissed it, because it like came forward and I was like, but she doesn't have a pet. Like, it didn't feel like that. But there's a real connection there between animals and your light, which is interesting. That doesn't come forward that often, to be honest with you. I have one person in one of my programs that it does, but outside of that, it really doesn't come forward much. So Smiling Nino, let me know how that felt and what's coming up for you. Okay. Well, Mama 512. What can I do to open myself up to receive love in a secure way? Both with children, teens. Oh, yeah, I hear you. I have teens too. And future partner post-divorce. Okay. What can I do to open myself up to receive love in a secure way? Okay, so the first is to really anchor that security within you and to find that within you. When you're secure within yourself and you're solid and you're centered and you know who you are and you know what you're here for and you know where you're going and you're very clear about what your field is available for and what your field is not available for, you don't have to worry about receiving secure love because you're just going to. And you don't have to like fixate on this and feel like, well, what if I attract somebody that's not secure? Well, first of all, you're not, because you're going to be so centered that energy that doesn't align with you is not going to show up. But even if it does, it's going to ricochet right off of you because you're so aligned. And so I want you to deepen your practice of receiving love from yourself and receiving love from the universe and being appreciative and aware of the love that you're already receiving now. Because when we set this conscious intention to receive secure love, it's almost like the manifestation process, which I think is BS, which is like, okay, I'm going to wish for something and I'm going to put it out there and then I'm going to try to like say it in a way that manipulates the universe to give it to me the way I want it, right? And it's like, what if you're meant to receive the love that the universe wants to give you so that you can continue to expand and serve yourself and your children and other people in your life in a way that deeply serves the community and that deeply enhances your vibration and those around you, right? So it's like, yes, of course you want love in a secure way. Like, don't we all? But we have that responsibility. That's nobody else's responsibility to give us that secure love. We need to give that to ourselves and be able to receive from the unseen, completely surrender that, right? To the universe and just appreciate what we're given. Appreciate what we're given. Because secure love is also subjective. I mean, you can say that like, yeah, there's attachment styles and stuff like that, but really what that comes down to is like you regulating your own nervous system and taking full responsibility for that. And then somebody else comes along or other people come along and it's like, they can't even rock me because I'm so centered, right? And so when you're looking at the kids, that just means your well isn't full enough, right? Like your well is not, you need to fill your well more with your own stuff. And then your field's just naturally going to be so open to them. So let me know how that feels. Wow, smiling Nino, wow. Yeah, no, wow, that's deep. Since you were 9. Yeah, this is like, these are deep ancestral patterns that don't just exist within your ancestral line from this lifetime. They exist from like your previous lifetimes, like they're riddled throughout your soul family, which is why it's so important for you to connect to those soul origins. And you don't have to do this intensely, right? Like it can just be a gentle, connection and just a getting to know, like creating relationship, getting to know this soul family and receiving from your soul family, understanding your soul origins. It's just a really beautiful process because you learn so much about you and about, your purpose, and why this lifetime in particular holds the codes that it does. Oh, Ninoska, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I miss you. Makes sense. This is still a grounding embodiment thing. Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. Let's see. Where are we next? Noel. What spirit wants me to understand with my body issues, mainly ears, feet, and bladder? I'm just going to send you some Reiki first, okay? So just receive love. Okay, so you're meant to listen less and speak more, which is so funny. We're often told the opposite, right? Like, listen more and speak less. But you're the opposite right now. They want you to listen less and speak more because there's a lot of noise coming in from other people's perspectives. And this can be people that are giving you perspectives now, or it could be like from a history that you've been experiencing, but like, like words from our childhood, stuff like that. But there's like a deep anger within you that is preventing you from kind of moving forward in the way that you want. And you're pissed about it. You might not even consciously realize that you're pissed about it, but you are. And you're not recognizing it or speaking about it. And it's like they want you to use your voice more. They want you to be really, really just honest and real and like admitting what's pissing you off, right? And that you're not available for some of the shit people are saying to you. Like, I'm not here for that. You know, I love my body. I trust my body. That's the other thing, is like deepening your faith in your body, deepening your faith in your cells, deepening your faith in these feelings that are coming up within you, and that your anger is sacred. You should read my post on sacred rage. I just wrote about it a couple days ago. That your anger is sacred, and that it's here for a reason. It's communicating with you. It's indicating where you're meant to go on your path, right? And so it's like being able to speak more about what's on your mind, about your authentic truth. And if people are like, ooh, that's intense, or ooh, I don't know how to handle that, or whatever, right? Like, that's not your responsibility. It's their responsibility to be able to manage their own nervous systems, and it's your responsibility to manage yours. And yours is impacting your health because there's so much trapped opinions and belief systems and narratives and anger that exists within you that it's just like, no, dude, that's not cool, right? Like, open your mouth more. That's what they're saying. And the people that love you and that really want to be on this this path with you are fully going to appreciate that and just be like, wow, you know, like, I rage on messages to my friends all the time, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, fuck this, fuck that, like, you know, just letting it out, and they're just like, baby, go. I love witnessing you in this, you know? And it's those people, that soul tribe that just feels like family to you is going to welcome that. And they're not going to take it personally or let it upset them, because they know who they are. And they're just going to be like, yes, girl, like, bring it. So let me know how that feels. Karen, hi, honey bunches. I'm taking a healing class and was recently assigned a healing master. Yay, that's fun. I'm actually making progress in it. Yay! I'm so excited for you. Can you tell me more about my healing master? This would help me connect more, be more effective. Yeah, I'm feeling like a lot of masculine energy around this healing master. Very ancient energy. Very soft but directive. And fairly hands off, like kind of like really trusting you and viewing you as that person that can, like, you've got this, you can do it. You don't need anyone to do something for you or necessarily even with you. You just need to know that you are very, very trustfully held in the arms of this very ancient master who knows exactly what you're doing and exactly where you're going. And so I feel this very, like, you kind of going to him and like just resting in him, almost like he's like your energetic plug-in station, where you kind of go to him and like plug in and activate your energy and reset. And then, but you don't really need concrete guidance necessarily. You just need the energetic holding. And when I say directive, because I said he's soft and directive, there's nothing spoken necessarily. It's like this, he's assisting you with clarity and discernment. He's really assisting you with self-trust. That's what I'm getting, is that he's assisting you with self-trust because he trusts you so much. And so just by kind of like anchoring in him and being able to come back and like rest in him, you get to realize, wow, like, I'm actually doing all this on my own. I just feel really safely held in it. So let me know how that feels. You're welcome, Giana. Hey, Kim, how are you? So glad to be here. I'm feeling so emotional and confused. Join the club. Do you see anything for me in my work, my love? All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to share what's coming up. What they're saying is like, don't get like, don't dismiss the emotional experience, right? Welcome it, because there's been a lot of emotion in the field lately between these eclipses. And I almost feel like you're trying to understand it too much, right? Like, are you just allowing the emotion and allowing the confusion at the same time that you're trusting that the clarity will come? And there's no timeline on when that clarity is going to come. You don't have to hold yourself to that. But it's just kind of like, give yourself more space. Give yourself more space to just love on yourself and just be, and like, let the emotions flow through and witness them as magical energy that's just activating and catalyzing you, because that's exactly what it is. And the confusion, celebrate the fuck out of confusion, okay? Because confusion is like, honestly, a way to just take the mind out of it entirely, right? Like, this is not meant to be done in the mind. That's why you're confused. If there is a clear answer, but it's not in the mind, right? So just get out of the mind and be like, the emotions coming in are actually creating energetic shifts within you, that when you don't dismiss them and you allow them to be there and you welcome them in, saying, you are welcome here and I love you and I'm so grateful for you. But you're going to end up, and you keep that trust that the clarity is going to come. You're going to end up getting that clarity. Anything for your work or your love. Just receive a little Reiki. Open the third eye. I don't know if you do my free meditation series, but there's a third eye meditation that's also just on my YouTube as well. This is particular on work for some reason. They're talking about opening the third eye. Like, your third eye is kind of tight right now, and it's feeling like there's some resistance to its opening. And that's what's one of the reasons you're feeling confused. And that's one of the reasons why you might be having trouble with discernment and clarity in your wisdom, because your third eye is kind of just tight and resistant right now. So let's just soften that and open that up. And in terms of your love, they're taking me right to your root space. Because, like, let's go back to the work thing for a second. They're saying, like, the first thing they said around it was, don't even think about work. Like, don't even worry about work. Like, it's just gonna just be. Like, just be you, right? And that's why when you expand the third eye, you're gonna have that clarity and discernment again that you're gonna be able to use to make decisions at work or to see what you need to see at work. And it's not gonna be hard. Like, stop making it hard, right? Like, how can we make this easy? And with your love, they're taking me right to your root chakra, which is security, groundedness, safety. So yeah, another expansion of the chakra center. They want you to expand the root space. They want you to have a larger holding space, a larger holding container for yourself, so that you can really, the word relax and like rest and loosen and just feel into this restorative vibration. One of my favorite poses for that, yoga-wise, is just leaning back into reclined goddess pose, where the bottom of your feet are together and your knees are out like this. And just allow yourself to receive. So that's what's coming forward, Kim. Let me know how that feels. Noel, I'm sending you so much love, yeah. I feel you. I've been there myself, and I highly encourage you to, if you find a tribe or create one, you know, and I know you can say, oh, well, that's not easy to do. Well, I mean, look for like Buddhist monasteries or temples near you. You know, they're always having, or Reiki sharing circles, or I even have a membership that you could join if you wanted to. But there's so many spiritual communities online and in person. And so it's just making that your intention and being sincere about it. I love you so much, Megan. You're welcome, Kim. Okay, so let me see here. What is it? This is CEO Empress. What is it that Spirit wants me to know as far as self-guidance for finances, career, and love? So interesting. They were coming up with all these blanks for me. They were like, she already has this answer. That's what they're saying, is that she already has this answer. So let me tune in a little deeper. Do you feel like you are the pilot and the authority in your life? And I don't mean in your workspace. I don't want to look at professional role at all. But what they're saying is, if you're having any questions about self-guidance, it's because you're not firmly anchored in your own personal authority. And I know that when I worked with this energy, it was around, this was years ago, but it was about finding personal authority in myself professionally, and myself as a wife, and myself as a mother, and myself as a woman, and myself as a spiritual guide, as a therapist, like all the roles you play as a daughter, as a friend. Where is there space for you to upgrade you being in your authority? Like this, I know exactly who I am. I know exactly where I'm going, right? Like, because I think that what's coming up here is refining your vision. I think it's time for you to come back to the refinement of your vision in each of these areas, or even just generally, right? It's so important to do that on a regular basis. I do it every couple months, probably, I gotta be honest, probably a lot more often than that. We're energetic beings, and we're always shifting. We're always changing. Every single day we're waking up to a fresh version of ourselves, because we're always evolving. And so it's like, when was the last time that you really checked in around, is what I'm focusing on in my life, is what I'm doing, is what I'm putting my energy toward, what brings me massive levels of joy and excitement? Like, not just, yeah, that's good, that's nice, yeah, it feels good, but like, oh my gosh, like you're so pumped that you want to scream it from the rooftops. And so it's being able to be like at a level of energetic investment in these areas of your life that just feels like I'm claiming it. That's the authority piece. Like, I am claiming it. This is what is available to me. And by damn, I know that I have access, right? So let me know how that feels. See you, Empress. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay. Okay. Okay, Anna or Anna. I'm going to go with Anna, and I apologize if I'm screwing that up. What do I need to know about growing my angel business? I feel so much soft energy around this. It's really beautiful, and so much light and so much expansion, and like singing from the heavens. Like, I feel it. Your business is beautiful. Like, it's just so beautiful. And it's deeply of service, and it's like shining everywhere. Like, people can see it. You're being called into higher consciousness. It's funny. It's like they feel like you've done what you need to do on an earthly plane at this point, and they want your business to be to be operating and anchored in a higher dimension. And so what they're inviting you into is expanding into realms and dimensions beyond where you've already accessed, and let the angels take you there. Like, let them take you on a journey. Let the angels take you on a journey up into higher dimensions, and allow yourself to really explore and like navigate with them and learn new things about the universe, and realize that the angelic realm is fueled by source, right? Like, everything is fueled by source. And so it's allowing that source energy to come down. Like, they're showing me you, like they're showing me the angels here, and then you, and then source. So it's almost like they want you to be sandwiched between the two energies, right? Allowing the angels to kind of be the foundational piece, but then you getting this like full on direct activation from source. And being to the point, what they showed me right away was like becoming an angel, right? Like allowing your feet here in the angelic realm, truly absorbing all that energy and you just becoming that frequency of angelic consciousness on this planet. How does that feel? That's kind of big, dude. Let me know how that feels, but wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Ellie on Raw. Oh, you missed me. My question is, where do I find a suitable partner for me? And thank you so much for dropping it again. Okay. And then I'll go back to the order, but I'm sorry I missed you. You're so welcome. That was big, Anna, right? Like that was like really amazing. And I find too that like it was coming forward too. Like every single time that I look to like at my business and where am I meant to expand, it's always my own, it's like always my own work. You know what I mean? So, okay. So where do I find a suitable partner for me? In the divine masculine. So like, who do you identify as divine masculine, either in human form or in spiritual form? So a lot of people choose Jesus Christ, right? Because Jesus Christ was like such a beautiful example of divine masculine energy. Buddha's another one. There's a lot of beautiful spiritual guides that embody the divine masculine. Archangel Michael is a good one. Archangel Raphael is another one. But they want you to stop trying to find it in human form and create the relationship soul to soul in spiritual form. Because as you do that, you're going to feel so nourished and fulfilled and complete that you're not going to be in this state of need or human desire. And human desire always contains a little bit of an element of attachment to the outcome, right? Which can overlap with some desperation energy that's not even conscious a lot of the time. And we find that out later. But it's like taking full responsibility for being in relationship with the divine masculine energetically and realizing that that magnetism is going to draw forward who's meant to come up, because you don't want to search for a partner. You know, you don't want to look for someone, because that's something that's going to, you're just going to come up with a bunch of ego blocks. You really are. And we don't want a bunch of ego blocks, because that's just going to interfere with the natural flow of bringing someone with you. That we want something sustainable for you, right? We want something sustainable that's going to like last into your golden years and you feel like, oh my gosh, the perfect partner, right? And the easiest way to do that and the best way to do that is to really cultivate that relationship yourself with divine masculine. And when you go to like feel eager for that person coming into your life, and finding that partner, shift back into that, but I'm in relationship already, right? I'm in relationship already. And in Mary Magdalene Revealed, one of the things she talks about is craving. And I worked with that for a long time. And when you feel a craving for someone or something, that's really a call to realize that all power that you desire resides within you. Everything you desire resides within you, and you need to decide to claim it. I decide to claim the divine masculine energy within me and available to me. I am choosing to claim it, right? Like, get demonstrative about it. Don't shy away from that. I want you to be a little bolder with it. Okay. Dulcinea Playa, how do I let go of this fixation on making the right decisions or fear of making the wrong ones? Oh, good. I'm glad she spoke to you too, Marley Mar. All right. How do I let go of this fixation on making the right decisions? Oh God, I know. I hear you. I've so been there. I'm like reading this like, oh, I so feel you. And my phone is at 77% right now, and 77 is my magic number. So I'm just celebrating that for a moment. Deep in trust, babe. One of my favorite mantras when I first started this path, like, I mean, I've always been very spiritual, but this really big awakening was like 8 years ago, right? All of my decisions are the right ones. Every single decision that I make is the right one. even if concretely or on the surface, people could argue that it's wrong, right? Because every decision you make is leading you forward on your path. Either because it's like offering you momentum to move towards your soul's purpose, right? Or because it's moving you towards your soul's purpose and highlighting what isn't in alignment, okay? So for you, it sounds like you're stuck in the mind, right? Fixation is a mind issue. You can listen to my podcast, the Akashic Musings podcast, and I have some episodes on rumination, and they talk about this fixation piece and like tools to help you move out of rumination and getting fixated. But honestly, all of this is about self-doubt. It's all about self-doubt and just not trusting yourself and or not trusting the universe. I found it much easier to trust the universe before I trusted myself. Trusting myself is still a work in progress. I think it is for all of us, right? Like I'm at a hella awesome place now compared to where I used to be, but still. So I think that it's being compassionate and patient with yourself on the journey and deepening your trust in like when you get an intuitive nudge, acting on it. And it could be the smallest thing, like what you're going to eat for breakfast, you know what I mean? Or what you're going to wear that day. But starting to trust these things that come forward that naturally nudge you, and you're going to start to notice and trust more. Wow, I didn't realize that me being guided to wear that would have left me in a position where I was freezing and I would have been cold if I had worn what I initially thought I was going to wear. You know what I mean? Like silly, that's a silly example, but it's like, you know, this is a trust issue. Okay. But every decision you make is the right decision. That's what I want you to know. And this will still come up for me every once in a while. And I'll just be like, yeah, I mean, my decisions are the right decisions. And you know what? Even if I'm sitting in like shame about them, then I share that shame with other people because shame dissolves when it's seen. And I'm like, oh, that decision. Okay, I made that decision, but you know, it doesn't feel good. Good. I'm glad it doesn't feel good because guess what? That means you're feeling something, which means that the energy is moving, which means you're activating something, which means you're moving forward, which means that the wheels are turning, which means that change is happening. And you're going to learn no matter what. You're going to grow no matter what. And fear of making the wrong ones too is like you being afraid of seeing yourself as like a fraud or an ass or something like that. And it's just like, listen, all of us feel that way at times, right? All of us feel that way at times. And so it's like, just show up and say the thing or do the thing and make the decision, and start to trust that you got to this point in your life. You've made enough good decisions that you're still alive. You're still here. What if you wrote down all the decisions that you have made that have worked for you? You probably wouldn't even be able to fit it in an entire notebook. You're so welcome. Oh, I love that, Noel. Okay, Megan. I feel like I've taken some steps back in being able to let go of the guilt to not be able to fix the strained familiar relationships within my family, even though it's not mine to fix. Also work. Okay. Let go of the guilt to not be able to fix the strained. Okay. Number one, it's not yours to fix. Number two, and I say this from experience, and I say this from the Akash as well, which is just be more you. Just be more you. Be more and more and more authentic. Because I'll tell you, guilt is a glaring sign that we are not allowing enough good in. You are capping yourself. You're upper limiting yourself. If you haven't read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, read it. It's freaking awesome. He talks about upper limiting, right? And there is no limit. The sky is limitless. We can have all that we are meant for. And so for you, it's being able to recognize, where in my family do I feel connected? Where do I feel nourished? What do I love about it? This other shit is not my business, right? It has nothing to do with me. I am living the life that I want to live, and I'm showing up exactly as I am. And as you show up exactly as you are, you're going to find that these relationships resolve. This has happened in my family as well. And I can get pissy, and feel like, oh, okay, I'm going to set this boundary. I'm going to set that boundary. I need space, all of this. And what it always came down to was I was not being enough of me. I was walking on eggshells. I was trying to be too like serving other people's needs. And really it's just like coming out and saying, I'm not getting involved in this because it's not my problem. You've got to fix this. You got to figure this out, right? Like I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And what I do know very deeply is that I love you. I love each and every one of you. And I am so grounded in that. And I am so connected to that. And it is so important to me that I'm going to hold that close to my heart no matter what. I'm going to hold that close to my heart no matter what. And if you need to have your little tantrums and go through what you need to go through, go ahead. I'm still going to be here loving you. You know, so this is another theme here around authority, right? Like being in your own authority and realizing, no, it's not yours to fix. But like you are shying away from being your own authority of this is what I believe. And what I believe is valid. It's very, very valid. And I believe that this is not my battle to fight and that I'm actually very, very satisfied being in loving relationship with you guys. Let me know how that feels, Megan. Work, in terms of fixing things at work, just show up and serve. Just show up and serve the kids. Show up and serve the staff that are serving the kids in your authentic self. This is you hiding from your authenticity and being afraid to be fully you. Because if you are, you're afraid that the familiar relationships are going to be more strained, or the work relationships are going to be more strained, or people aren't going to like you or think that you're good at what you do. Meanwhile, I've known you for a very long time. Every fucking decision that you make when it comes to work is fantastic. And all you've done is grow, and all you've done is expand and get better and better and better at what you do. In fact, to the point where I've told you open your own goddamn clinic, right? So remember who you are. Like remember what you stand for, and remember that you are so freaking good at what you do. Nothing else matters. Just show up and do what you do very naturally, because it's literally like your middle name. Like it's so, you were meant to do this work and you're so good at it and you're such a natural. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Let me know how that feels, Megan. I love you so much. If you have a follow-up question, let me know. God knows I'll go on a rant about it. Okay, good. All right, Ninoska. As a follow-up, is it beneficial to obtain my ancestral soul family in order to work with them? Or are you able to tell me about their energy? Is it beneficial to obtain them? I want you to connect with them yourself. Like I want you to connect with them directly. I don't know if you've done any astral travel to connect with them, but that's really what you need to do, is go into some astral travel experiences. I mean, honestly, the energy I was feeling was Palladian. As they were pulling you up, it was very, very strongly Palladian energy. But our souls have more than one origin point. So, I mean, it's not going to be the only one. And I kind of want to see where you're naturally drawn. Like when you go into astral travel and you allow your higher self to guide you on an astral journey. Lost my train of thought for a second. Right. When you're being guided to go on this astral journey by your higher self, let it take you where you're meant to be taken, right? Sometimes you're going to be taken right to the Palladians, right? Because that's in your head. Sometimes you're going to be taken someplace else entirely. I can't even tell you, my Akashic certification program, like I take people, I'll be like, all right, we're going to do a past life journey today. Do a past life. And people will be like, yeah, I astral traveled. I'm like, that's fine. Go where your soul is meant to take you. And then I would take them into an astral travel journey and they'll be like, yeah, I went to a past life. I'm like, good. You went exactly where you're meant to go, you know? So trust your soul and trust where you're being guided. I worked with St. Joseph, Jesus, and Archangel Michael before I found my new partner, who I believe is the man I'll marry. Yay. Now I get to be present for the unfolding. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I love that. Yay, Karen. You're so welcome. Maria, I love you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Good. I'm so glad, you guys. All right. Oh, Megan, I love you so much. Being my authentic self has definitely been a challenge. Yeah, I know. Which means who in your life brings out the most authentic version of you? We know Chrissy does. Spend more time with and be intentional about being with the people who bring out the most authentic version of you, so that you can practice it more, so that you can be in that vibe more, so it can feel more like this is easy, this is easy, this is easy, right? CEO Empress. And then I think this will be my last question. You're welcome, Noel. I was adopted. Ancestrally, is there anything I need to know? It's interesting. I'm getting a couple things coming in, so I'm just going to tune in a little deeper, okay? Okay. That's why I wanted to tune in deeper. Because they were talking about like, well, hell yeah, there's a lot you need to know. Like, there's a lot to know. And I'm feeling a lot of like royalty in your line. In your bloodline, for sure, way back when, which is interesting. But what they were saying was, to a degree, yeah, what you need to know about your ancestral line is that you're fucking leading it. That's what they're saying. Like, you're blazing a trail, baby. You are leading the pack, right? You're drawing people forward and you're creating a completely new narrative. So yeah, there's a lot you could know about your ancestral line that you can go back and gather information about. I think it's just kind of cool that there's royalty back there, right? Because I think that they want you to know that because they want you to really embody those codes for yourself so that you feel more grounded in that authority as something that's super, super natural for you. But they're saying, more importantly, they want you to claim the forward narrative. Like, claim the forward narrative. I know that, like, it's honestly, to a degree, like, who gives a shit what was going on ancestrally? Because I am going to create a new pathway. And as I run into quote unquote roadblocks or snags, I'm going to allow those things to be data and information coming forward from my ancestral line to show me where there is energy I'm carrying that is not mine to carry and that is ready to be cleared. And that feels like more of an authority path for you. One that's going to be more empowering, where you're not going backwards to find context. Instead, you're moving forward in your line. And anything that interferes, any energy that interferes with that forward movement is going to show up. And as long as you continue to heighten and expand your awareness, you're going to recognize it and you're going to clear it and be able to be like, thank you for showing yourself. I'm glad you were able to be seen. We're shedding this. We're moving forward. That feels so empowering. That totally pumped me up. Thank you. Oh my God, you were told that? Oh, that's so amazing. Oh my God, you did? Oh, that's so freaking cool. Oh my God. Yay, I love that. Yay, yay, yay. All right, guys. Okay. So, it looks like we have one more question here. Can you guys post for me? Questions closed. You are so, so welcome. I know I like felt this energy so strongly. It really pumped me up. Thank you for asking it and for being here and bringing your beautiful energy. All right, I'm going to answer this last question from Jim. I was recently diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis and have had body pain for a long time. What is the energetic reason I have this and how do I get rid of it? Okay. So, sending you love and Reiki, so receive that. But I had body pain for a long time too. So I've been there, done that. And what kind of energy work have you done on this body pain? You know, have you really like met with it, like just met it and connected with the sensation of it and, you know, gotten into a relationship with it? Because pain is something that happens when there's been energetic shifts in our field, either emotionally or energetically, that we haven't consciously had awareness of. And that's not something to blame yourself about. It's just, you know, a lot of what comes into our fields we don't recognize until it gets condensed into tangible form here. And so that's what happens, is that it's a development from a compilation and a condensation of a lot of emotional experience that has become trapped in the body. And so what I would do is I would either dive into some emotion code work or some Akashic healing work to release the emotions that are feeling trapped in those areas of your body. It's also, what they're also bringing forward is, this is, again, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but deepening faith in the body, you know, like not aligning yourself with your diagnosis and instead being able to recognize my body is simply communicating to me right now. I do not have psoriatic, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying, arthritis. I do not have body pain. All of these things are interpretations of the ego. They are all labels that we are placing on ourselves, okay? And you get to free yourself from those and decide that you are a multidimensional being that is completely compiled of energetic building blocks that are always moving and anything can change at any time. Miracle mindset, right? Adopting miracle mindset. I could wake up tomorrow morning and have no pain at all, right? So that's one of the things. The other thing is getting into nature, right? Because Mother Nature laying on the earth is one of the most soothing balms that we can offer our physical body when it comes to body pain. And the last thing I will say is breath. Bringing in breath deeply into that space. I did a practice for 2.5 years. I had severe leg pain. Could hardly walk for a while. And I would go into the legs and identify the energy like I was talking about earlier, create a relationship with it, have an exchange with it. And then I would bring breath into that area and just really open up space in the area because it was feeling so constricted energetically. And then it got to the point where all I had to do when I would get a pain is just turn my attention to that area and it would immediately vanish. So it shows you, case in point, it's about creating relationship, heightening your awareness, and also getting aware of what are the things that precede me feeling worse. For me, it was certain emotions that would come forward. And then I noticed that before the emotions would come forward, a thought would come up or some kind of sense that I got or a knowing in my field. And so it's also being able to kind of like reverse engineer it and say, like for my legs, they would start to hurt after my heel would start to hurt. My heel would start to hurt after I would start feeling guilty or tired about something. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to kind of track it back too. So heightening just your awareness of the signals that your body is telling you. And I don't want you to focus on getting rid of it. Because anytime we try to get rid of something, whether it's an emotion or a thought or a belief system or an ancestral thing or physical pain or physical sensation, we are rejecting a part of ourselves, right? We're rejecting a part of ourselves. And that's not cool. That's not what we want to do. We want to unfold it and say, you're welcome here. Say to the pain, you're welcome here. It's okay. Thank you for being here. I know you're here for a reason. And you're allowed to hate it and be frustrated at the same time that you meet it with faith. Okay? So, yay. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for being here. All right, guys, I am going to... No work. You're new to all of this. Okay, yay. So I just gave you a lot and you're probably like, what the hell is this girl talking about? I'm literally so happy to guide you in this and to meet with you. And I actually have a vibrational assessment. It's $97 for 20 minutes. We jump on Zoom and I kind of tune into your field, offer you some healing. And I can take you through one of these. We'll have enough space and time in that, or I can take you through one of these practices and teach you how to do it. And I can even record it for you so that you can just continue to follow it. I did the same exercise. You'd think I would have been bored out of my mind. I was a little bit sometimes, but the same exercise with my pain over and over again for 3 years straight. Every single day for 3 years straight. But it was so soothing and so comforting to me. And then I just realized one day that I would just turn my attention toward it and it would just vanish. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Because keep in mind, I do firmly believe that we are on this path. I mean, all of us are on this path for so many reasons, right? But we're on this path, we're in this human body to advance who we are, to understand who we are, obviously, at a deeper level, but also to have deep, deep, deep patience and compassion and reverence for ourselves. Like, God always views us with awe and reverence, no matter how much of a shit show we feel, right? Like, always views us with reverence. And so it's like, be patient as you're doing this work. Be patient, because that's part of the learning in itself. When something has condensed to the physical form, it's been around for a long time and we just haven't seen it or we've missed it. And it's not going to go away like that. And that's purposeful. We don't want to shift 180 degrees overnight and we'd be twitchy. You know, these things happen in steps for a reason. So we need to trust that. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to peace out. Come see me, guys, on Zoom tomorrow night, please. I want to meet some of you face to face. It's really, building community is my, like, that's why I said, like, this is my favorite thing to do, because I just love connecting community and chatting back and forth. I also do these on YouTube sometimes as well. I don't have one scheduled right now, but there's 2 ways to connect with me on Zoom. One, tomorrow night, Sunday the 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern, is $22 full moon ceremony and lunar eclipse. Those are so, so beautiful and so yummy and so intimate. I'm also going to be doing Akashic readings and healings like this on Zoom. And I'm just going to have like a really small group of people so that everybody gets individual attention, everybody gets their questions answered, and we can go a lot deeper. And that's going to be next Saturday, the 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern, same time. And it's $40. So that link, it's called Akashic Guidance. I'm going to post about it later today. And if you're on my email list, you'll get an email about it later today too when I send out this replay. And if you haven't joined my email list, jump into my link in my bio and just sign up for the free meditations. It's the most ridiculous meditation series. Everybody's obsessed with it. So that'll make you happy regardless. But I love jumping on Zoom and being face to face because it just allows us to go deeper. It allows us to be more intimately connected, and I just love that so much. So that's okay, Noel. Thank you. You're welcome, Anita. I love you. I love you, Maria. I love you, Giana. Oh, I love you, Megan. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Happy full moon, and have a beautiful Saturday. Mwah. Bye.